Because according to his dad's late-night infomercials, a George Foreman grills in only a few minutes. And that's the Hollywood Rockin' Wrap-Up. Follow us on Twitter at Rockin' Wrap-Up.
ExciteRadio.com.
Hey, this is Phil.
And this is Aaron, and we're Heartbeat of a Planet.
And here's one of our friends to say hi.
Hi, I'm Andy Garcia, and I'm here in support of Heartbeat of a Planet, where the music lives.
We are going nowhere. Do you want to come along?
That's right, it's that time of week again. It's Heartbeat of a Planet. I'm Phil.
And I'm Erin. Happy Thursday, everyone.
That's right. First of all, we've got to report some news tonight. We had an artist coming in called Bradley Cohn. He couldn't make it because it's raining in LA.
Which is ironic because he's English, so you'd think he'd be used to it, but...
Well, we came here because we got told it never rains in California.
A cruel joke.
It really, really is. I'm ready to go back home now. So anyway, everybody out there, first of all, Brad is going to be doing a show later on the internet live. Where can people find him at?
People can find him at stageit.com. That's stageit.com. And the link for Brad's show is www.stageit.com /Brad_Cohn, which is spelled KOHN /raining_in_LA /33678.
Basically, find him at Stage It. All right, that's all I can say. But Brad will be back in on the show either next week or the week after. Just stay tuned, you'll find out.
And he's doing that show tonight at 6.
Hold on. This is your problem. Hold on. I need you to move for 1 second.
We've already started. We need to fucking get going.
Well, we got to record.
Oh, good. While you guys are doing that, I'll be right back.
And I'm a believer in it. Performance is everything. So Audix has been around. They've got 27 years of history, 27 years of excellence. If you ever need to turn to getting some kind of a microphone, whether it's for drums, instruments, vocals, you need a wireless for your vocal system, Audix is a company that you can turn to and know that you are going to get the best reproduction in what it is that you're creating. So whether you are a producer or an engineer or just the artist, you novice or professional, it does not matter. Audix is the company that you can turn to and get the best in sound reproduction to make sure that the performance that you put out is the performance that people hear, because once again, as Audix says, performance is everything.
Juggernaut sound. Getting the word out about what is both now and next. Juggernaut sound.
Are you looking for the most comfortable designer baby accessories for your little one?
It's 7 o'clock. It's time for the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show. We're broadcasting live from Excite Studios in Los Angeles, California. Here's your host, Silverback. And as always, Toolrantula.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show. This is Silverback. And with me...
Toolrantula!
There he is. He sounds off. Hey,
That's the way we worked that one
start,
out.
man.
That went off without a hitch, huh?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We practiced that, if you can believe it. Tonight, we have a very special guest coming in from Skype, man. We got so many things to talk about, but since we didn't get a good enough chance to get started here the way we wanted to, we're just going to go right ahead and introduce our guest. Tonight we have Rudy Sarzo.
Rudy Sarzo! Oh my God!
If you do not know who Rudy Sarzo is, let me fill you in. He is the bassist with Queensryche, formerly of Ozzy Osbourne fame. I believe he took over for Randy Rhoads. Hey, can we hear Rudy? Are you out there, man?
Yes, I'm out here.
There
Actually, Randy Rhoads was our guitar player, and I'm a bass player. So, and nobody takes over for Randy Rhoads anyway.
We all love Randy Rhoads.
So
man.
corrected, Silverback.
Yeah.
I can barely hear myself.
You know, he may have been born with the perfect name. You'll never forget it. You'll never forget his guitar playing either, man. He was amazing.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I got to play in L.A. with Randy also in Quiet Riot. So he's the guy who got me the gig with Ozzy. So,
that was
Randy,
early on. And as per usual, Tool has technical difficulties in the pack right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there, guys.
I was going to say, I hope no one saw that, but everyone saw that.
Yeah,
what we do is we come
more
in
entertaining than the Olympics.
Oh yeah, Well, especially the Winter Olympics.
Exactly.
The sports we all know we don't really care about.
You get that right.
Exactly. So Rudy, you're on tour right now, correct?
Actually, I'm home right now, but musicians were always on tour.
Oh, okay. You're always moving
either
around.
waiting to go on tour or actually on the tour. So it's like a never-ending,
right? Exactly.
Process of touring. Yeah.
Well, between touring and promotion and just doing your thing, man, it's all good. You got plenty of stuff going on, but currently, actually, you've got something big going on. In fact, I just recently found out about this, that the 25th anniversary of Operation Mindcrime is about to come out.
Yeah. Well, actually, we the Jeff Tate version of Queensryche, we started touring, celebrating the 25th anniversary of Mindcrime around March last year. So it's a long celebration. It's an incredible record. It's such a amazing to be able to play the whole record live, because there's such a great storyline that goes with it, all the great songs. That hour just goes by so quickly. Just because
that.
I got a little puppy here that came to see me. See?
Oh, nice. Hey,
check him out.
It's funny you say that. Come here.
It's actually tangled with my headphones right
there. You go. Nice one.
Hey, Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my pop.
Yeah, this is the studio dog. Studio dog.
Get down, studio dog. She's my shadow.
Gotta have studio dog, absolutely.
Down, studio dog. Down, studio dog. You're gonna get caught up in all our wires. So it is an amazing album. In fact, I believe the Operation Mindcrime tour was the second concert I might have ever been to. Now that I recall, and I don't even remember who Queensryche played with that night, but I was into it back then, man. I loved that. I loved that album.
As a matter of fact, back in 1983 when Quiet Riot was touring on the Mental Health album, we had as our special guest Queensryche on their very first tour, the very first national tour that they ever did. What was actually not even on a whole record, was on the Queen of the Reich EP.
Oh, interesting.
Look at that.
Yeah, so I have a pretty long history, with Jeff, knowing him, being buddies with him, having toured with him before and all that. So I'm telling you, I'm having a blast playing in that band.
I love that accent. You're from Cuba?
What accent?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're the one with the accent.
I'm from Cuba. I was born in Cuba, and the Caribbean, came to the States a long time ago, and
that was your first tour.
That was my first tour. You're absolutely right, sir. And ever since, I've been on tour.
Tour by boat. Yeah, but do you have a lot of musical history in your family? Do you have a lot of background in it?
A couple of one uncle and one aunt. They were actually, opera singers, classical pianists, lounge singers, stuff like that. But nothing of any major renown,
Right. You took it to the next level, and they probably hated what you were doing too, I imagine.
No, actually, you know what? The only in the next few days is going to be the 50th anniversary that the Beatles play in that Sullivan Show, and I got to tell you, one of the things that most musicians of my generation have in common with each other is the fact that we saw the chicks screaming for the Beatles, and we wanted that. That was the only reason why we picked up an instrument.
Interesting.
Because of the chicks,
Yeah.
And
what else is there?
That's a perfect way perfect reason to start a band. Hey, let's just get some chicks.
Right. It's funny that he's laughing about that because that's his entire motivation. He's
That's
like, why
exactly my motivation. I was going to say, man.
Let's get on the radio. There's some chicks there, I'm sure of it.
My major in college was mass communication. So basically, I had to learn radio, television, and motion picture directing, and broadcasting, radio broadcasting, and all that. So everything that you guys are doing, I went to school for. And again, DJs. They got a lot of chicks.
Yeah, you better believe it. Yeah.
Tool. That's funny you say that too because we had earlier in the season we had a musical interest that we picked up on. It's actually a one-man band, and we continue to plug this guy. In fact, he's from a band called what is it? It's Plaid on Flannel. I'm sorry, that's Knowles Randall. And right before, literally before we got this guy on the air for the very first time, he told me, "Yeah, I've already got a degree in radio broadcasting." And I started laughing. I was like, excellent. So
this is like at the very beginning when we were first really kind of getting things put together, Rudy. And let me tell you, Silverback's just fumbling around, hitting buttons that are absolutely,
not much has changed there.
But. Yeah. What does this button do? It mutes the entire show for the rest of the show.
Okay. And on that note, I have to say, last night we were in here doing a little intro, outro stuff, some commercials from people, and Tool's sitting here behind the desk. Literally where I'm at right now, where the control center essentially, and he screwed something up, and next thing you know, he headbutts the keyboard and literally wipes out an hour and a half of outtakes. Wipes it out completely, non-existent. Couldn't get it back.
Yeah.
We're like, wow.
Yeah. My forehead hit something. Commands delete everything.
I think he actually did like 10 commands with his forehead all in one shot, and it was just what he needed.
We had to repopulate the entire database with all of our music after that one.
Oh my God! Back in the day when I went to school, it was like 1971. So there was actually a guy who was the guy who put the needle on the record.
Okay.
To spin it, in a room separate from you, and for commercials they had those big bulky cassettes.
Mm.
Yeah. For commercials,
right.
No, you don't.
Oh no, we don't use those things anymore. No,
we're still on 8-track actually.
Yeah, well, that's what they were, 8-track.
We press play and it goes.
You sort of see tape funneling out of a little crevice. Oh God!
Right. You have an incredible amount of history in the music business. You've jumped around from Quiet Riot, then you ended up with Ozzy. You were in Black Sabbath, right? And then you was it Black Sabbath or was it just? I thought it was okay. It wasn't.
Just Ozzy. Actually, I play with two singers that
just
have been
Ozzy,
in
not
Black
Sabbath. It was it could have been good, but it was just him.
Yeah, I play with Ozzy in his own solo band, and then I play with Dio in his own solo band. So
right.
I got to play with two Black Sabbath singers.
That's pretty solid.
And there's some other interesting things too that I picked up on, especially how you, for instance, you were credited with some of the work on some of those albums, but never actually played them, and then. Do you know what I'm getting at?
No, actually, you know what? In reality, I have not been credited. What appears is my photo. For example, in Diary of a Madman.
Okay.
Tommy Aldridge and I did not play on the record. I mean, because we were not in the band. We did not exist in the band.
Right.
So that was released after we replaced Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake. So it's not like, it doesn't say Rudy Sarzo played bass on this record.
Yeah. No. It doesn't say you played the bass. Somebody else did the bass work for you, but yeah, you still got kind of on the album a little bit. I guess you were working on with.
Well, you know what? I wrote the best thing that I can do is to never take credit for it. Second of all, always set the record straight. And I wrote a book a few years ago, and I just wrote about the whole experience. Made it very clear for anybody who really cares to know about it that that on Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz is Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake playing on that.
Right. Well,
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. You learn something
there you
new
go.
every day, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, and I was actually going to get to that too. You wrote that whole book. I mean, being an artist, it makes sense, and to even question whether or not anybody would be interested in it is kind of a moot point. There's people that are into far more obscure things than that, but you've got to.
Yeah, but it's always good to tell the story of how things came about.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's good.
Just for clarity, sense of clarity.
Right. Kind of tell the story so everybody's got it straight. But, hey, it's rock history, man. That's what it is. And if people aren't into it, then you only it's actually a lot of it is behind the scenes. That's the interesting stuff.
Yeah, of course. Just like with any rock band, I'm always interested to know what happens. I've read a lot of books on the Beatles and the Stones and Hendrix and whatever, all my favorite bands, and it's always get a kick to see how much in common every band has, as far as what goes on behind the scenes,
Right.
Now, let me ask you a question, Rudy. As far as kids, do you have you have little ones that are kind of following in your footsteps as well?
No. I only have a little dog. Actually, that was not my little dog. That was my neighbor's dog that's visiting.
Oh.
A little dog is a Yorkshire Terrier. Yeah.
Well, let's see. And then you had just mentioned that obviously you're home now. Where exactly is home? Are you guys in California?
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And it's raining, so this explains my bad hair that I have.
I was gonna say something, but
I never had that problem.
Yeah, exactly. But I just get this frost on the top of my head. But actually, I was gonna say, if you think it's chaotic, just looking in on the scene, you should actually be here. It's even more interesting. That being said. You should have come in, man. We always have a good time, and we'd love it if you'd drop in on us every once.
Next time.
You should, absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Yep.
So now I know that I had Tool over here. He said that you had mentioned you were if we want to play any of your songs, it would be cool, but I'm not sure whether or not we actually got any. So.
No, we can do that with the exception of one simple thing, which I think we might want to discuss at the break.
Yeah.
To make sure that we actually have rights to do that we don't end up pissing anybody off.
That's how
I mean.
That's how I throw Tool under the bus. I just show up and expect things to be done.
Yeah.
That being said, as well, I don't take any credit for anything either. That way, when we screw up, I can just claim plausible deniability. I didn't know. I've said it many times before. I'll say it again, man. They just pay me to show up, talk, and drink. That's what I do.
That's it.
Yeah. So
you got that 100%. So let's see. You said you just got back to your place in California. But I mean, you are actually doing some work on the road, though, right? You were traveling around quite a bit.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do these events called Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and we're doing one coming up next week. We have Joe Perry and Eric Johnson and Steve Vai, Orianthi, and a bunch of other great guitar players and other people that are going to participate.
That is super
in the camp,
cool.
and it's always a great time. It's in Las Vegas. Everybody drops in. We put bands together. We perform with a special guest, and it's a blast. So in addition to going on the road, with Queensryche and a couple of other projects that I have, I'm very much into mentoring. which is what we
Cool.
do at the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the upshot of that camp is not necessarily to get somebody who always wanted to, for instance, be the lead singer of a rock and roll band, but just so happens to have a A-lister band behind him. It's more a mashup of various artists.
No, it's mostly, for example, people sign up and then there's certain openings. For example, there'll be so many openings for guitar players and drummers and bass players and singers and keyboard players. Then each individual is assigned to one camp. A camp, we call it, it's really a band, but what we are the counselors,
right?
You know, the people that oversee the band, and then you have the campers, and you have those. It's kind of like playing poker.
I wonder what that panty ray looks like.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, you know, basically you're dealt a hand because you don't know beforehand how their musical skill. You don't even know if they can play. I mean, I've worked with individuals that have never played a musical instrument in their lives, you know, and I have to put them into a band situation and make it sense and make it work for everybody else, because you might have somebody in there that can actually playing with somebody that has no experience, musical experience, and you have to make it worthwhile for everybody. So, you know, it is a bit challenging, and I really enjoy the process.
So basically, if you sign up and have never played guitar before, but you end up in the guitar position, you essentially become rhythm guitar. So you learn 3 chords, and we'll get you through this sucker.
Yes, but it's a little bit more elaborate than that, because you like to give each individual tools to take with them beyond the camp. It's not just about the camp experience. It's not about those 4 or 5 days that you spend with us. It's about the rest of your life. So, you know, we get a lot of corporate individuals, you know, lawyers and CEOs and doctors or whatever, you know, people who there's a lot of A-type personalities.
Okay.
People that can really can grasp information really quickly. Right. And you'll be surprised how much we get done in a matter of hours. You know, you can actually initially, you know, because we have to get it together enough so within a couple of hours you have somebody like Michael Anthony walking into the room, and each camp is going to perform a song with him.
Right.
So it is that quick of a process. You know, and you have to like be ready and be really focused and know how to deal with each individual's needs and levels, musical levels.
Yeah,
So
is it mostly for kids? Is this mostly for adults? So, I mean, these are for people that already have some level of passion.
Yeah. The average camper is an individual who during college had their own band, a punk band or something, you know, like 20-something years ago, 25 years ago, and graduated, went on to fulfill whatever vocation they were getting the education for. And then 25 years later or whatever, they're successful and they bump into that Stratocaster that's been sitting in their closet all these years, and they go, you know what? Let me go to rock and roll fantasy camp. It sounds like fun. Let me dust off. So these people have some kind of background, most of them, musical background. It's just a matter of helping them reconnect with their musician identity, which is the problem. That's the biggest problem I found when individuals walk into the camp. They have disconnected themselves with being a musician. They think that just because they happen to be successful, fill in the blanks, you know, a doctor, lawyer, architect, whatever, they're not a musician anymore. And my job is to help them reconnect with the fact that yes, you are a doctor / guitar player. You know, just like you're a doctor / father and husband and whatever. You know, these are identities that you should never disconnect yourself from, because you're going to take that with you for the rest of your life. You know, I'm one of those people that can actually make a living out of being a musician, you know, because I'm a professional musician. But I don't believe that music is really based on being a vocation. You know, case in point, before I even started making money as a musician, for many years, I was a starving musician. I was sleep. As a matter of fact, before I got the call to join Ozzy, I was sleeping on a floor, not even a mattress. I'm talking a floor with a sheet on it. Wow. And if you ask me, oh, so what do you do? What are you? I'm a musician. I wasn't making a penny from it, but I have that very strong connection with being a musician.
I feel you on that actually, and
Yeah,
when
so-
faced with the
so
same
do I.
when faced with the same question, I always have to obviously say I'm a radio host, so
Yeah. Yeah.
welcome to my floor with a sheet on it. There was a few things that you said actually that strike me. Number one, that Tool here, I think I'm gonna have him sign up. I mean, I think that would be interesting if he got a spot, because this is one guy that
He will get a
always-
spot if he signs up. He will have a spot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no.
What do you play? What do you play, Tarantula?
Actually, I play the vocals, but I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And
He's actually not bad at the vocals.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
I can build it.
we because we got a lot of instrumentalists and not a whole lot of great vocalists.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest thing to get in a rock and roll fantasy camp, and you'll be more than welcome.
Now, where is the next fantasy camp?
It's next week in Las Vegas. Then in a couple of weeks, we have one with Judas Priest and Jeff Tate. Jeff is going to be dropping by. And then after that, next month in March, we have the Gene Simmons camp, which is always a lot of fun. Gene is always really great with all the campers.
We're
As a
gonna
matter of fact,
be
the
working
last
with him
camp
soon.
that he did, he taught them how to rip, in his own words, how to rip off Kiss songwriting. Because what he would do is he would work with every single band and says, okay, this is how this. You see this song, this Kiss song? Well, we stole that from this band. Now we're going to show you how to steal from us, how to make your own song out of a Kiss song. And he was fantastic.
That's what, relatively speaking, every musician does. I think, anyways, because I remember
some degree, yeah.
back in my, well, you have your influences, and some of the ones that you may draw upon in large part are maybe the ones that you never talk about. And I might not have mentioned this before I became comfortable with the idea, but I was in a band when I was in my younger years, let's put it that way. And it wasn't until I started listening to techno music that I thought, listen to these rhythms, man. These things are pretty awesome. And then I told my guitarist, like, what do you think about this rhythm? And he turned it into a heavy bass chord, tuned down to E sort of rhythm. And next thing you know, techno music turns into death metal. It's an interesting segue, but
Well, you're right. But let me ask you, Rudy, really quick. I mean, obviously you're a rock and roll guy in every way, shape, and form. You exude rock and roll, which we love.
Look at me. Is this rock and roll or what?
He's got a little tiny dog in his lap.
Yeah.
tiny, like this big.
You are a rocker.
And a golden giraffe running around there somewhere too, I bet. But I mean, are you pretty eclectic in that sense? Do you like multiple type of things? I mean, do you get into like hip hop and stuff like that too, or?
I get into bands that have great bass players, and I've yet to hear a great hip hop bass player because it's mostly wiki, like scratch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's, to me, I get into, like, say, fusion, guys like Jaco Pastorius and Stanley Clarke, progressive music. You're talking about Chris Squire and let me see, Greg Lake with ELP and King Crimson, and then you have bands like Led Zeppelin. To me, I'm really into rhythm section. Like John Bonham, John Paul Jones, Keith Moon, John Entwistle, Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker, even Ringo and Paul McCartney. That was an incredible. So I'm really into that. I'm really into the rhythm section. So that's one thing that hip hop doesn't give me. Doesn't give me great bass players to listen to and be inspired by.
And if you don't mind here, Silverback, I'm going to jump into this one too. Obviously, you've been around the world. You've done lots of. You've been paired up with the best rock star stuff, right?
Yeah, I've had a lot of lost luggage. Is what
and along those lines, I mean, obviously, you were so many legends and just superstar icons along the way, and I'm sure you have, it's got to be kind of like the way it was back in when I was doing the band thing as well, where one thing kind of blurs into the next. But there's some things that stand out, I'm certain, for you. And probably some of those, are never to be mentioned again. But, I mean, in your mind's eye, I mean, is there, like, something that you played with that really stands out as, holy crap? I mean, obviously, knowing your status, is there one person that you were up there on stage with and said, wow, that's pretty damn impressive?
Yeah, all the time. Damn. First started with Ozzy.
Yeah.
I was in a band with Ozzy. I mean, here I am with the guy from Black Sabbath,
Yeah.
And I'm playing with my former, again, Randy Rhoads, a legend in the making. I got to hear him every night play like that, And Tommy Aldrich, he influenced so much of my playing, because basically at that time in my career, I was just trying to keep up with all these great guys.
Yeah.
It was like, I was just trying to raise my own level to their level. Because they have been doing it for such a long time. I mean, by the time that I got to play with Tommy and Ozzy in Ozzy's band, they have been around for like 15, 20 years, with Ozzy with Black Sabbath and Tommy with Black Oak and Pat Travers and so on.
Yeah.
And then after that, I would say Whitesnake, being on stage with David Coverdale, who I was a fan of him back in Deep Purple.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, this is great. This is awesome, And then, we had, again, Tommy Aldrich on drums, and we had great guitar players like Adrian Vandenberg and Vivian Campbell. Then later on, Steve Vai, which is another incredible musician.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dio. I was a member of Ronnie's band from 2004 until the day he passed away. And to be on stage with the man who I first heard singing, the Man on the Silver Mountain, and to play that song with him on stage, it's like, damn, so yeah, and then now, playing with Jeff Tate and, in his version of Queensryche and doing Operation Mindcrime, it's just like, damn, pretty good.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Actually, I another question I might ask is, did you ever have, in other words, there obviously there was a reason why you were there in the first place. I mean, they saw something in you. Was there somebody standing there, when they weren't looking, or when they weren't, when you were just literally standing there going, damn, I can't believe I'm with these guys. Like, I'm trying to keep up with these dudes, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, maybe from a production, sort of standpoint, I could see, where once you step up into that big stage, you've got a whole lot of things going on. It's not just rocking out in the garage or even playing those small shows, whatever. There's a whole lot more to it. But was there somebody standing there saying, listen, man, you're Rudy Sarzo, dude. You rock. Like, seriously, you got some skills.
No, even if there was anybody like that. No, I mean, it's with me, it's always been a case. I have my own certain levels that I reach for, musical levels, and it's simple. You get off the stage, and sometimes you feel like you had the worst gig of your life, and people come up to you and say, "Hey, man, you sounded great." And then some nights you feel like, "Man, we were on tonight." Nobody says anything, But then again, I think the most important opinion that you're going to have as far as a performer is your own opinion. Your own opinion,
I've done that from the beginning. To be honest with you, I'm my own greatest critic. I'm always walking off of this thing going, that sucked. And
Okay.
everybody's like, no, you sound awesome. It's like, all right. Oh, maybe it was Tool that sucked.
Yeah, it was me. It had to be me for sure. Listen, so Rudy, I use. And this is something that I'm sure
thank
that
you for
few of us
sharing.
do. I use.
Unbelievable.
I use. Listen, I use. My status as a broadcaster to my benefit to work. My way into a lot of different events and stuff like that.
Try and get free meals.
Try to get free meals. I mean, hey, you guys left out my Big Mac. Do you know who I am?
Yeah. Hey, where's the girls at? Hey, I'm a radio show host. Sort of.
At any point in time, do you use that to get what you want? Say, for example, you want to enter into the Super Bowl or something like that. I'm Rudy Sarzo, damn it.
Oh,
Or do they
no.
go, who?
No, yeah.
No.
Pretty much the same reaction I get.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm the Silverback.
We got golden tickets to pretty much
okay.
get anywhere, but I'm just saying, if you want to go to a 5-star restaurant where you need to have a reservation, do you pull that card?
I get a MasterCard. That's the only card that I pull. At the end of the day, that's all they really care about.
Right.
Right. Here's my card.
That's my card, yeah.
My card.
And then sign it for you. There you
Yeah.
go. Okay. Let's get this thing going.
Me and my mom would like the corner table. Yeah, I don't think so.
Remove those people over there for me.
I play with some of the most successful musicians, and they have never done that themselves. Never, ever. I've never seen Ozzy, Ronnie James Dio, David Coverdale go up somewhere and say, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or something. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you're a
it's-
douche, actually. Thank you for coming. Yeah, no, you never want to say that kind of thing. You
No.
always want to wait for that moment when people are like, you know what?
Or at least
I
have your,
love what you're doing.
or at least have your sidekick to go, like that will basically, step up and say, "Do you know who you're talking? Do you know that guy?"
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's like this. Trust me.
Back in the 80s, I mean, I have met girls who have told me that there were guys going around impersonating me and having sex with them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I hear that story all the time. Somebody's getting it, not me. I don't know.
My God.
Hey,
And all I could hope for is that they were well hung and that they were really good at it.
Yeah.
That's all I could have.
You're putting out personal ads. You're like, listen, if you were out there slinging my thing, you better have done a good job, buddy. That's all I got to say. Yeah, exactly. Now
it wasn't me, Rudy. It wasn't me.
in true Tool fashion, there he is.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll give you a good name, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. As Tool very often says, let's digress. And when I came in earlier, I did not get the point of that thing, and now I understand fully. Good one. Good. Nice
Yeah,
setup.
I made
Nice
my way to
setup.
the studio, and everyone's looking at me. I go,
Nice
Rudy
setup.
Sarzo.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I think that you guys have had more conversation than him and I have about this show. Thank God I actually did a little research before I came in, because otherwise I'd be like,
Toolrantula looks like a 70s porn star with
or without the wig.
Like Linda Lovelace.
That's coming out next. That's
Yeah,
the very
exactly.
next show.
Yeah. Yep. And his co-star has got that downstairs. Nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Anyway, so constantly on tour, man. I can't even imagine what it's like to do it, on a schedule, but trying to do it from like a lifestyle.
That's pretty much the model of today's musician, because if you look back before the industry shifted, with
Right.
everything,
iTunes.
Yeah, and it's not just one angle of the industry. I would think as overall, there's been a major shift. So back in the day, when you were signed to a record deal and you put out a record, you have about 4 MTV videos that would get airplay, which meant that you were probably going to be on tour for about a year and a half.
Right.
So it meant that by the time you finished that tour, you had to go back in the studio to make another record, to go back and do it again.
Right.
That cycle doesn't really exist anymore. Not even how big the band is. I mean, if you name me any of the biggest bands, like U2 will actually, right now, if they do a tour, they would tour for so long, and then they would take a big break for about a year and a half, and until they come back, and until there is the demand for tickets again. Nowadays, most of the musicians in my level, we have multiple projects, because even if you release a brand new record right now, MTV is not going to play any of the videos for you so you're going to be relying on social networking to promote that record with whatever video you happen to have, if any, right? So the shelf life of an album nowadays is about about 3 months, really, from the time. So that means that you're going to be on tour, unless you have something like Queensryche has today, which is the celebration of Operation Mindcrime. It's a specialty tour. We're not really touring behind a brand new album. We're actually touring behind an album that was released 25 years ago.
And well received as well, which is nice, because that's it was an amazing album. That's why, nobody forgot it.
Incredible record, but any band that releases an album today can really just have a life expectancy of that CD to about 3 months, which means you're going to be touring probably at the peak of the season, which is the summer touring. You're going to be doing some festivals in Europe, probably some shows here in the States, maybe go to Japan, maybe do some dates in South America, which means that you're going to have about 6 to 8 months to do other projects. And that's what a lot of the artists do. They take that time, instead of sitting around, they do other projects because this is what we do. We play. We must play.
Right.
If we don't play, we get rusty. These little fingers here stop moving.
Speaking of which, I was actually looking at that hand as it's waving around, and I'm going, I'm sure you do all your finger picking by just hand. I bet you would be an amazing rock climber.
I pick everything.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. They call it the claw. But you got see, look at that, man.
Yeah,
okay, now that is. Do you are you a 3-finger picker, or are you gonna go all
I
four?
do thumping and I do plucking. Actually, I use everything but this finger.
Okay, that would be the pinky.
Yeah.
Well known as
I scratch myself with.
Right, exactly. That's the only one you can still fit up your nose. All the other ones are so buff you gotta. But say Rudy Sarzo. Now this is my kind of guy. I'll tell you why. Sometimes we get guys in here that may have been something at one time, maybe not, maybe they still are. Who cares? But one way or the other, can't poke any fun at themselves, can't stand back a second and go, okay, let's just have a little fun here.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating humor is a personality trait that I give a lot of credit to, because honestly, you made it, you did your thing, man. You're making money, and we congratulate you. I love that project that you're working on. In fact, I really hope that you can get Tool in there, because I would love to laugh.
We have the chant after this, Rudy. I would love to have that opportunity to come join you guys. It sounds like a heck of a lot of fun, and
I'll be sleeping on Tool's floor with a sheet. See?
I would actually, I've wanted to do that. I've done the music thing, Rudy, for a long time, and boy, let me tell you, I paid my fair share of dues. We had pretty good following. We just had bad management, is what it all came down to at the very end.
We
I know. It happens.
It does happen.
I've been in some of the biggest bands in the world with a number one album with bad management too.
Yeah.
And it's not just as much as management being bad, making any bad business decisions. Sometimes it's the management not being able to manage the individuals inside of the group to make them realize that this is a business.
Correct.
And you know what I mean? So to me, any manager that can actually sit down face to face with the individuals and try to make things work for the better of the band in general, that to me is a good manager.
Well, absolutely. And here's the thing too. You definitely want to have that camaraderie with the people that you're performing on stage with. Essentially, you're married to.
Absolutely. It's a family.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You have to get used to these guys, and not just get tolerate, but essentially these are people, whether it be 4 or 5, or more people at a time. Everyone brings their own baggage to the relationship. And some of these people have families. Some of these people, are your douchebag supremes. Back. I'll just use myself as reference.
The
douchebag thing, right? And so, I had, we had a great camaraderie. We had great friendship, because we actually all were in the same school. We hang out even before we even got into the band. These are like, basically like four dudes that, were already skateboarders and said, you know what? we should start a band. And we did. We did. We picked out my folks' garage, and next thing you know, our music was crap, but we went out there and we started getting chicks.
Wow.
You know what? There's an interesting parallel here, and it's funny that Tool's talking about his band when, honestly, we are going through that exact transition here at Excite Studios this very week. We're learning more and more about each other and coming together as a family, all the shows that we've got here. So that being said, we've got a lot of guys out there in the studio that are listening in. So I just wanted to say, hey, guys, we love you. Everybody, we're getting together over here at Excite Radio, and we're doing
everyone steps up and takes on their
we've come together,
role.
man. We've come together a lot this week. It's been a trial by fire because honestly, we don't you never know when people are going to come at you sideways, especially these days. It's a popularity contest,
without a doubt.
With the social media, there's too many ways to attack people and discredit them.
Well, let me ask you. Here's one thing, and I want to build on that too, Silverback. Is that we know that look, Rudy, our message is being delivered far and wide across the world. We've got millions of people that are tuning in, so obviously they love us, what we're doing. Either that, or they like watching us making a total jackasses out of ourselves.
Likely,
but at the same hand. We have to begin, where we are. We have to be kings of a kingdom, and then kind of branch out from the epicenter, and then it kind of makes more sense. So I was saying, you're also in the LA area. We're going to be doing something here coming up, and we've been talking about this for a long time. We actually have a concert series coming up here that we're putting together, and we'd love for you to, perhaps maybe do a little spotlight while we're out and about.
If I'm in town, I would love to participate.
I'll let you sit in with me, man. You can be my co-host, and Tool can.
I'll get up there and I will sing a song.
Roadie. Yeah, he can sing a song. You go sing a song.
Can I bring my little dog?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Your little
bring the dog.
Is in.
You're on.
And that's what's also interesting too, and part of the benefit of actually being in LA, even though we love it and we hate it for all the same reasons. I'm sure all of us that do.
Why did you head to LA? No, I'm just curious because everybody has different points of view about Los Angeles.
Well,
what do you hate about LA?
What do I hate about LA? The people who come here that aren't from here. Oh wow!
That's
no.
Funny,
you know what? Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you love it, then live it, man. This is LA. You obviously love it. You came here and you are doing what everybody who comes to LA wants to do. It's the ones that move in and ruin your whole neighborhood because now you can't talk to your neighbors and
I came to LA with one single purpose, and that was to get into the music industry.
Right.
Yeah. Because there was no other place in the world like it was in Los Angeles back in the mid-'70s when I arrived in Los Angeles, before you were probably born.
I don't know. Well, I'm not dating myself, but
yeah, but
but I would date myself if I could.
LA, it was a different music industry. It was a different everything, and that's why I came here, and that's why everybody else that was not. Outside of Van Halen and Quiet Riot, most of the musicians that played on the Sunset Strip that were in, that got record deals, they were from outside of LA.
Yeah.
So we all came here with that one single purpose: to be in a band, to showcase for the record companies, and make it in the music industry.
Right. But you know what? You've got that personality type. You've got humility. You're a humble guy. Clearly you're not full of yourself, and that's what I'm talking about. It's sort of you're like, no, I am the shit. Actually, if you really step back and think about it, but. No, but it's the ones that really do stand there and look at you like, you're their butler or something like that, and it's like, you know what?
Well, that's their problem.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Screw you, man.
Yeah.
I don't need to deal with people like you, and that's exactly what I'm saying. If you I've always, I mean, I'm a Valley guy, and you know,
We're in the Valley. Where?
Oh well, West Valley. So you know, I'm down in the
Go ahead,
Calabasas,
spit it out,
Woodland
Silverback.
To where?
West Hills, Woodland Hills,
Oh yeah,
Calabasas.
I live there. I live in that area.
What? Why aren't you here, man? Why do we got to talk on the internet? It's
I know, huh? You're like right around the corner.
Yeah, you're probably
I'm right next door, man.
I'm your neighbor. I'm that guy that you do, you know, never answers the door when you knock on it. To give you,
I'm the dude that your dog keeps barking
box
at.
of cookies.
I can be quick because if you're from this area, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You know where Dirt Mulholland ends?
I lived right below it for years. Yeah,
that's where I live.
Oh, wow.
Up Canoga by the golf course, dude. I probably was literally farther. Yeah, exactly.
Up, yeah,
on one of the ridges, right?
Mulholland, and Canoga up there.
I probably lived a couple houses from you then at one point.
Yeah, so you know,
interesting.
I'm up.
Interesting. Yeah.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah. Let's go to
All
his
right.
house right now.
People are gonna ping Panther.
Give me your address. I'm coming over. I hope
Well,
you got
right
some
now
alcohol.
it's so muddy because it's been raining.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
What's up,
gosh.
what's up?
Actually,
Yeah,
I remember an experience. A friend of mine parked on one of those ridges because I lived on one of those ridges right directly above the golf course.
Yeah.
And somebody parked a little bit too far off on the side of that street, and he almost slid his truck down into, 100 foot,
It'll be a hole in one.
Right? Exactly. Right into the pool, baby. So, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And Ozzy actually is in this neighborhood too. I hear he hangs out in Calabasas all the time.
I think that they sold the house. It was in Hidden Hills.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of us that live around here. You know, you
that's
probably
what
get
happens when you make it. If you're still in
common.
if you're still in abandoned jalopy or something like that, you live down in the central part, down by the in Sepulveda, something like that. But if you got some if you have a little bit of history, you might move up to the west side.
What about
so
your
to speak.
comrades? What about you guys? The rest of the guys, are they also in LA as well, or are they just kind of screwed about?
You know, Queensryche is a Seattle band, so half of the band lives out there. Simon Wright, who I play with in Dio,
right?
He's our drummer. He lives in the Valley here, and my brother Robert, who's also in the band, he just moved down to San Pedro.
Let's talk about that really quick too. You said Seattle, so you obviously watched the Super Bowl last week. You a big sports guy?
I used to be so fanatical that when I lived in Jersey in the mid '60s, I used to keep score of the Yankees every single game.
Wow.
That was in the days where
jotting
you
it
had
down.
guys
You mean
like,
game for game?
Huh?
You mean like jotting it down, like game for game?
Yeah, just like a geek. Yeah, I used to do that, and those were the days where guys were in the dugout drinking beer, and it's just before. And then now it's so corporate. It's so the salaries are so huge. All the free agents. That's one thing I really didn't like about baseball. The fact that nowadays you could be rooting for a player, and then next year they could be in another team.
I've always hated that. I've always hated that. I felt the same exact way. I was always a huge Boston Red Sox fan myself, and it seems like when we got this magical player, they would somehow make it over their way over to the Yankees. I'm like, there goes Johnny Damon. Let's see, who else?
Yeah. So I like that. You know what I hate about organized sports is how much money those guys make.
It's not how much, and usually every time somebody gets a huge contract, that's it. It's over. Their career just goes downhill.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
get
It's
injured.
like, I
and,
made it. No
it's
mention.
like back in the day when I was really a fan, it was because people were doing it for the game,
right?
And they were loyal to a team.
Yes,
whatever team that might be, and that I really respected that.
Yeah, 100% true. In fact, I'm also a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Hey, Dermani, what's going on? I know you're tuning in right now too. So what's up, buddy? But you would see that back in the old days where the core team they always stuck together, and then essentially they went off. You know, when they started doing the new salary caps and changing up the whole philosophy on it, that's when they started sending their best players away. You know, you'd have the MVP Santonio Holmes of the Super Bowl the very next year. He's playing for the Jets. I'm going, yeah, that made a lot of sense, guys. Good job on that one. And suckers, I just bought the jersey too.
You know, and another thing that I miss is it's actually, you know, I think athletes should be allowed to be juiced.
Yeah.
You
Let's
know?
just take it to the next level.
Really?
Man. Yeah.
Really? Why not?
Well,
You know.
it's almost like it's the same mentality as prison, you know? Just put them in a yard and see if they jack each other up. You know, you get all these guys all juiced out. They're superhuman in every respect. That we'll make it a 350-yard wall, or you know, we'll make it a 400.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I want that sucker to go as far as Tiger Woods golf.
Yeah,
ball,
exactly. Gone are the days of like what was it? The 80 home runs in one season. I love that. You know, I believe that even if you're juiced up, you have to make contact with the ball.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say,
by the time you strike it, you're just hitting it harder. That's all there is. But you still got to hit a 90-mile, 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Oh yeah, going to a batting cage like that just scares the hell out of me, man.
Oh,
I won't go up against some of these. They even have like the big names right above, like the super fast pitcher, like the Oral Hershiser. I'm going, nah. I'm gonna lose my elbow off this one. Really quick, Rudy. I got someone here. Her name is Sincerely, and she is a great big fan of yours. She just wanted to pop on in and say hi.
I just want to say hi, Rudy. I am a big fan of yours, and I just kind of like was a groupie back in the day. Kind of embarrassing, but I was. I followed you guys around.
Stalker. Oh, we found your stalker, man. There it is, Rudy.
He's like, hey.
The camera, I can't see you. I can't wave at you.
Here you go. Step over here. Get over here.
Interesting.
There you go.
You know what?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I was the groupie.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
He's like, yeah, I remember.
You remember?
I remember, yes.
I remember we super glued you to the ceiling one time. Ha 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 ha.
We put your pants on backwards.
We don't want to really tell them what we did,
Well.
Rudy.
We stuffed your pants with like phone book clippings of like AA meetings.
What the? Holy moly.
I was pretty good. You know, I've been married for almost 30 years now. You know, it's going to be 30 years in June. And I got to tell you, every time that there would be like a young girl that would come backstage, and literally they would tell me this. You won't believe what I had to do to get back here. And I go, yeah, I can just imagine.
No. Let's get something straight here. I never went back on the bus and sucked nothing.
Yeah.
That's
No,
not the
wow.
way. I swear that's what happened. That's how
she
you
ate
get
a
back
dozen
there.
glazed donuts. That's all. That's what's on her face.
Make me a
That's how you get
sandwich.
backstage. Basically, if you wanted to meet the band, you had to like get the roadies first.
Yeah.
And that's something I wasn't down with. But I never got to you. But I wish I would have. But I just was not that way. But
Well,
here you are right now in my face.
I'm going to give you a lecture. A lecture on how to be a good girl.
We'll send her along with Tool. You'll see. She'll get right back into it.
But it was nice meeting you anyways. I got to go get ready for my show.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that was a cute little segue into the sex, drugs, and hip hop
Yeah, exactly.
show.
A little plug right there. I gotta get ready for my show. Stay tuned, Rudy.
Coming right on the
Winky
heels.
face.
Coming right on the heels of the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show. Once again, we're with Rudy Sarzo, and we're talking all kinds of stuff, man. I think it's time for us to take a quick commercial break. I don't know about you, Rudy. You want to hang in there and come back after this thing, or you got something to do?
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta take care of some business at home because I've been in rehearsal all
Gotta
day.
handle the scandal.
So I really want to thank you guys for having me on the show, and you know, probably the studio is right down the street from where I live.
I'm saying
It
I
is.
probably
Yeah.
drive right by your house all the time.
So next time, you know, I'll just, you know, I'll bring my pajamas. I'll come in and sit in with
Right.
you guys.
I'll
And I'll
that'd
bring
be
meet you
cool.
down at something's fishy or something, all right?
Okay, you got it, my friend.
Excellent.
God bless. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right.
Rudy.
All right, guys,
Again-
we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have absolutely nobody else on the show. It's just us.
Just
Let's do
us.
this. Thanks, thanks,
All right,
Rudy.
guys.
Take care.
Take care, Rudy. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Thank you, guys. Had a great time.
Us too.
You're listening to the Silverback on Excite Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
It's time for some sex, drugs, and hip-hop, bringing the freshest in hip-hop, rap, and R&B every Thursday at 9.
ExciteRadio.com.
Gold Rat 2 Urban Apparel. There's nothing cheesy about our gear. Shirts, hoodies, beanies. Visit us at goldrat2.com or stop by Karmaloop and visit our online store. Gold Rat 2. Don't bite the cheese that feeds.
Seeking a home for your website and require managed services? What are managed services? You need to make a change to your website but don't know how to do it? Don't have a content management system installed or don't understand how to use it? Managed hosting is the way to go. With XMLA Managed Website Hosting, you just email us or give us a call and we will update your website for you. Packages start at only $24.95 per month, and it's only $5 for each additional gigabyte of space. And you can host and serve your site on a fast, reliable platform with complete control. Visit xmlahost.com for complete information.
Want to see some random original videos? Check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Excite Radio.
Katarina Vanderham, makeup, hair, and professional model. She knows what it takes to make you look as good as she does. Want the right makeup and hair for men's magazines? Need to make an impression on your next catalog shoot and has the knowledge and talent to give you the look you desire for your next photo or video production. Visit KatarinaVanderham.com for more information. Katarina Vanderham. Makeup, hair, and professional model.
Hello, this is Brad Smith from Abandoned Jalopy and Blind Melon, and you're listening to Silverback on Gorilla Cookie Radio.
He's out of the cage and entering the studio. Make way! It's the Silverback! And you're listening to the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show. Take it away!
All right, man. That was an excellent interview with Rudy Sarzo.
That was pretty cool, huh?
No, it was cool, man. And Rudy Sarzo is a very cool guy.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that we will be hanging out with that guy in the future.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Well, again, Rudy, I know you're still listening out there. Thank you very much for jumping online here with us, and we're looking forward to having more fun with you later on down the line. Definitely want to talk to you guys out there in Radio Land, especially all those in different countries that can't be part of the fun locally. you're missing out on something special. And you know, I guess you're just gonna have to, obviously, experience this through osmosis, or check out some of the live feeds that we're going to be posting on the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show for sure. We do have, as we mentioned, some other special things in the works. In fact, we should cover a little bit more in detail about the concert series that we're putting together. I'm working with a few people here and procuring a venue here locally. And essentially what we were talking about with Rudy was establishing ourselves as the kings in our kingdom. So all the people around here locally within the LA area, well, guess what? You're a little bit late to jump on board, but we like to do things backwards here to some degree. And
I agree with you there, man. You were definitely going things ass backwards.
Ass backwards, and so essentially we started off by going full bore at Croatia, man. Croatia, you gotta hear us.
Croatia,
we want Croatia, right? So needless to say, yeah, we got some good buddies over there, Drazen.
Yeah, what's up, Drazen?
And then we got Tiz Shearer with XRP, Rock and Roll My Blood, and we also have a few other people that I wanted to get some accolades out there too. We're working with Denny and Tiff, Wicked Productions. Anyone that's a man or even women that has any coolness bone in their body, they'll know exactly what Wicked Productions is all about.
I'll put a cool bone in your body.
And they are some of the nicest people. We're actually pairing up with them amongst, to name a few others. We got Slam. We've got a lot of other people. I think right now we're up to about 207 stations that we're syndicating through. And
Holy moly!
And everyone, it's wonderful to be working with you guys. It's great to see that we're entertaining you and your crowds. And we certainly welcome you guys to call on in. Let us know how we're doing. The number to do that is 213-973-2977.
That is the phone number.
And you can go ahead and you talk to yours truly, Toolrantula. We've got Silverback here at the ready.
Forget him, dude. Call me. I'll tell you what. And as for all of you who want to call in and tell us what we're doing right, man, I don't even want to hear from you. Call in and tell us what we're doing wrong.
Tell us what we're doing wrong.
If we're not getting better, I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, you know what? In fact, we're gonna be calling some people out here later on in this hour. We've got one hell of a segment coming up after this here on Sex, Drugs, and Hip Hop. You saw Sincerely here earlier, and essentially we're gonna start doing that too. We're gonna blast our way into different shows to make sure that everyone's aware the Gorilla Cookie is always in the house.
We do have a couple things going on. In fact, one thing that I did want to do, first off, is say what's up. Happy birthday to my friend, Sean Hearn, man. He's a good old friend of mine. In fact, he is also known as DJ Silence from the 818, man. So happy birthday, Sean. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and guess what? We got another really big birthday coming up here this Friday.
Ooh.
In fact, one of our very own. We've got Mike, who is the owner of Excite Radio and
also
Excite
known
Media.
as Goss 10.
Always known as Goss 10. In fact, we actually have a song that we utilize when we do the intro for the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show.
I'm playing it right now. In fact, it just popped up. So
there we
check
go.
This out, man.
Check it
Goss
out.
10. You know it. You love it.
Those you overthrow, that niche friend, those
That right there.
And leading back into the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show, you are here with Silverback and Toolrantula. This is Prophecy of War from Dead and Dying, and I swear to God, guys, if you're hearing us out there, we're playing your song all the damn time because we love it. If you got some more, give it to us, dude. In fact, call us because we want to have you on the show, if even possible. Yeah, we could get people anywhere. So
yeah. You know, we like to do a spotlight on you for sure. You know, obviously,
exactly.
if we're utilizing your music for our intro, it's got to be good. You know, we did have another birthday shout out that we wanted to give too before we actually went too far. We've got a good buddy of ours.
Previously mentioned.
We got Knowles Randall with Plaid on Flannel.
Yep.
We did mention him earlier, and we definitely want to make sure that anyone out there that's tuning in, Knowles Randall, Plaid on Flannel, listen to this, guys. This guy is a superstar in his own right. I mean, he is a seasoned musician. In fact, you know, he's already gone through a number of
grillings.
Grillings.
Yeah, he's got seasoning all over him. We spit roasted him.
Yeah,
put him on over the grill. We're taking him to the next Super Bowl, and he is actually going to be the main course. I'm going to serve him up on my tailgate. So Knowles, beware.
Yeah, and happy birthday, buddy. Hey,
Americans eat Canadians for breakfast.
We love you. We love you very much. And by the way, all those people that are looking to call in right now are especially the ones that know us personally. Go ahead. We'll open up the lines right now. It's 213-973-2977. And guess what? We're going to go ahead. We're going to be giving away some free merchandise, including Excite Radio t-shirts and some other swag that we have.
Yeah, man. Call in and win something. I swear to God, if you call in right now and slag us off and tell us how crappy we are, we'll give you something for that.
Yeah. You know, in fact, I want somebody to go off on
Call the friggin'
Silverback
number,
right
man.
now.
213-973-2977. And also, I just wanted to let anybody who's actually listening to the show, because quite honestly, you know, our system is limited in a way. Okay, we've got a lot of stuff going on here, but we're maxing out on bandwidth just because we're pushing out to so many networks now that you know, we could barely keep up with it. In other words, we've got well over 3 times the average amount of bandwidth that anybody has in their home, at least. And because we have so much going on from a technology standpoint, if you're trying to get in and you can't, man, hey, blame it on the rain.
Keep trying, though, man. You know, listen, we do have.
I'm getting a bad message from somebody that's saying they were supposed to have an interview. I don't know whether or not that was Rudy Sarzo, but he said he was going home. And he was already home, so it might be somebody else. But if you're listening to this, man, call us on our actual number, because we're gonna be here for a little while, and God knows we want to hear from you. And like I said, we'll give you a free T-shirt, bitch. What? Oh, see, this is my tech crew. My producer is handling all the front page business, and our sound engineer is doing absolutely nothing. So here's to you, Jay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, you suckers. Hey, listen, BOGs, as we mentioned earlier here, concert series. In fact, anyone that's familiar with Paladinos, we've got some buddies over there, and we definitely should go ahead and, you want to bypass that right now?
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
Okay, I guess we're not going to talk about that right now.
We're not talking about that one. What we are going to talk about, though, is a far more close to the heart, and close to the Gorilla Cookie Show. This is something that we've taken under our wing, and in turn been taken under their wing.
Correct.
And this was not even a contact of mine. I might just let Tool roll with this one.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that this is something that myself, Silverback, and Tool, and the entire Excite Radio team is getting behind right now. Tool, tell them a little bit more about this very special project that's going on.
Yeah, I'll jump into this one for sure. Well, first of all, let's start off with the gentleman that's actually facilitating the whole entire event. His name is David Lyons. In fact, he is one of the co-owners of Bishop Lyons Entertainment, a very, very good friend of mine that just so happens to be afflicted by MS. Those of you that don't know MS, what the hell's wrong with you? If you do know what it is,
multiple sclerosis.
It is
just
multiple-
in case you can actually pronounce it.
Correct. And let me just tell you, it's a really it's a debilitating disease that essentially breaks down every function that you have, and basically renders you, an invalid entirely.
Do you have MS, dude?
I think I might have it.
He has a mild case of MS.
I have a mild case of that too.
Not
yeah.
to make fun of the situation,
And-
we actually want to give you guys an opportunity to get involved in a very special function that's going on in May. And we don't have a specific date now, but we do know that it's going on in May and it's going on in San Diego. David Lyons with Bishop Lyons Entertainment is putting on the MS Fitness Challenge. And basically what we're looking for is sponsorship. And
Correct.
we want trainers to work with some of these people that are afflicted with MS. And basically the upshot of it is to train people who are have this condition to function and improve their bodies and be able to actually live with the disease, as David has learned how to do himself having it. And if you see David, you'll know this guy does not look like
No,
he's
he's
got-
not Casper Milquetoast. This guy's got guns, and let me tell you,
Exactly.
and still, what it is, it's a disease that essentially just picks you apart, and he is just one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet, and he has a great message. So we're standing
It goes
behind
after
him.
the central nervous system, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Yeah. And you lose your eyesight, and your legs
Motor
go out,
function.
motor functions, all that. It all goes out. But this gentleman right here actually has a way to really cope with that. And without going too much more into detail, you guys can check this out too, just simply by going to msfitnesschallenge.org. Visit the site. You'll see that it will give you all the details on what the event is all about and how to get yourself involved. Because, again, this is a great cause. We work with a lot of people in the industry, and he's actually working with a lot of our very close friends already. So, we're already helping him bring some people in that are really active in this cause. So, again, if you guys want to go ahead and jump on board as a sponsor, as a trainer, whatever you could do, simply go ahead, go to the site, msfitnesschallenge.org, or even call us up over here in Excite Radio Studios. In fact, we'd be more than happy to share the details with you. You can call us up at 818-985-246, 2464, and click on extension 302. Talk to Troy. He'll go ahead. He'll get all the details for you.
Right. And I believe there's a special button. Click to learn. Something like that?
Something like that. Click to learn, or no, learn more.
Oh, get involved.
Get involved.
It's get involved button on the msfitnesschallenge.org website.
Correct. And David, we're definitely down for this event. This is coming up in May, and again, we need some heavy hitters to go ahead and jump on board and play a big role. Let's get this thing going. Let's show these people that we haven't forgotten about.
Exactly. We're backing it, and actually, I would like to be present for this thing because, again, this is something that we definitely want to support, and you guys should too, because multiple sclerosis is a very debilitating disease.
It's
and
not something that goes away.
No, exactly. It's something that you have to live with, and therefore. When you are living with a condition like this, you want to learn how to function within it as best as possible. That being said, I'm completely out of shape, so if there has anything to do with fitness, I might as well get involved. And in
Yeah.
fact, I'm already drumming up people in the neighborhood that are trainers, and I'm going to be able to provide some access in that sense myself. But besides that, this is something that you listeners, especially on a local level, but even on a national level, can get behind, because anybody associated with this event is going to have their names up there right alongside major
Superstars.
corporate sponsors and Hollywood celebrities, you name it, actresses, musicians, etc.
You're right, and the reason why that is
why not, man? You've got a bunch of people that are supporting the cause, and I'll tell you why is because David Lyons and the Bishop Lyons Entertainment Group are responsible for some of the most popular shows out there.
Yes, they are.
Right off the bat, I know several including Duck Dynasty,
Correct.
which if you don't know them, man, you haven't been to Walmart in a
Yeah,
while.
you have not been to Walmart. You haven't seen their holiday selection of all the Duck Dynasty stuff they had for Christmas.
You know, Tool
Or for
only
New-
wears normal clothes when he comes on the show, but otherwise he's wearing camouflage the rest of the day.
Correct. I've got my fake beard and all that too.
He's
so.
got the fake beard. He's got this kazoo.
I gotta go. I gotta go incognito everywhere I go. Hey, and that's a luxury problem. But listen, you
Right.
guys. Yeah, you know he's a great guy. And again, the cause.
Wait. Duck Dynasty. He not only does that, he also does
Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen
yeah.
Nightmares.
Hey, Gordon Ramsay.
Full
If you're gonna be
Throttle
there, man, I got an
Saloon, all
offer
these.
for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you know the guy is a superstar. So again, we'll touch base with him next week. But as far as I recall, I think we've got Metalocalypse coming in next week. So we're gonna kick it up a notch here.
Really?
Yeah, we've got this is gonna be one hell of a show.
Nobody talks to me, dude. I don't get anything.
We've got Ben Kalina, Brendan, Chris P, all the guys, and we are running exclusive with Adult Swim on their new show lineup. Gorilla Cookie, we're badass. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, Sleaze Rocks magazine did an article, and I want to put out the message to Skid. Thanks, buddy. And I told you I was going to give you a shout out, and we appreciate you doing our unsolicited publication. Hey, look, we love notoriety. We are definitely attention whores.
In fact, yeah, exactly. We will definitely support and be supported by anybody who wants to.
Yeah.
That being said, ITN magazine. I got your message, and I am, I'm all ears, dude. So get back to me when you can. So.
Hey, and also here's another thing too. Obviously, we're working with we've got a lot of stations behind us as well, and a lot of people also jumping into the causes. So this is fantastic to have this kind of a family where we really can deliver a great message broadly throughout the world. And this is something that again with anyone that may not be able to hear us on your AM or FM channels, don't worry, we're coming soon. And we're going to be calling some people out here. In fact, we do have a couple segments that we do want to address some of our negative vibes. And I think that along the way, I want you guys to follow suit here. So
in other words, coming up very soon, what I'm gonna do is we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna I think we'll probably do the crap sack.
Yeah,
this
let's
time.
do. We're gonna do Silverback's crap sack.
Exactly, and we actually might have to do the tool shed. I don't even know if we've got the. I don't know.
It's there.
Is it?
It's there.
Is it? I'll look for it. I'll look for it.
It's there.
But if it doesn't happen that way, either way, we're going to we're basically going to take somebody apart right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, stay tuned. Let's go to it.
No. There was another thing. Yeah. No. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's what we will do. And to take us out, I think I'm gonna bust into this one. This is Blacklist Union, and this one's called Lickety Split.
Lickety split. A little spit.
Tattoos and cocaine. Lickety split with a little spin. We'll make our head turn sugar to sick of it. The moon is lit and she can win. Under some smoke, blown beauty gets up and split. Love in your eyes, what a nice surprise. When you kiss melt me into my own demise. Lickety split with a little spin will make our heads turn. We're gonna die when the sun comes up. We'll drink until we drop. Our blood's a 100 proof. We got down the streets and crown. 99 by the Bible, wow. Ride round the train, that's one. No doubt about it. I can't live without it. No doubt about it. I can't live without it. Alcohol. Alcohol. It is my destiny. You got the fear. We got the time. Just got the ghost. Give me a line. No doubt about it. I can't live without it. Drinking drunk and drinking Sprite. No doubt about it. I can't live without it. Alcohol. We're gonna die when the sun comes up. We'll drink until we drop. Ride round the train, that's one. You got the fear. We got the time. Then got the cup. Give me a line. Give me a line. No doubt about it. I can't live without it. No doubt about it. I can't live without it. Alcohol. This is fucking dedicated to Teddy. This is fucking bullshit. Fuck that. That's the best $66 we've ever fucking spent. Hope you find your shit and go get your fucking shine box. Hey, it's a fucking Fisher. Hide your cats. Exiting the stage once more, under the guise of a friend, toss into the wind.
Welcome back, y'all. You're listening to Darkest Days from Jupiter Ignition. One of the bands that we actually had on the West Coast side of the Ultimate Band Challenge that we ended up winning, West Coast style.
Yeah, we won.
yeah.
Sorry about that, Mikey T.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, it's kind of funny. Let's break into that really quick because I really want to mush face him with it.
Yeah, there we go. Ooh, man, there it is. That.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Okay, here we go. So, you know what? In fact, before we go too nuts, let's go ahead. Let's get into the next segment, which I think you guys are really going to enjoy. As you know, I have the tool shed, and I throw sons of bitches under the bus as much as possible. We've got another couple people that are going to be in the tool shed, but we also have a different segment called... Go ahead.
That's right. This is it. This is it.
Here's what it's called.
No. I can't do it right now.
Do it. You got to do this one. Ready?
All right, here it comes, people.
This is what it is. I didn't even hear that.
I didn't hear it either. Did you guys hear it? I don't know.
There we go. Let's...
Do I really have to do it again?
That was crazy. Make sure the volume's up on that. You know, I kind of heard that.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, because the volume is up.
Is
I
it?
hear it.
No,
I can see it right now.
Is it there?
Yeah, no, it's not.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We effed up.
Dude, we can do this because we're the ones that actually came up with it initially. So let's go ahead. Let's kick it on in. Ready?
Yeah, right.
Ready?
Whoa.
Ready? Come on. You got it. Get your tone on. Ready? Come on. Come on. Ready? 3, 2, 1. With a helicopter nut swing crap attack, it's Silverback's crap sack.
All right.
That's it. There we go.
People.
We're-
That's what we got.
That was fantastic.
This is called Silverback's Crap Sack.
That's right.
And this is where we actually take off on somebody, and for good reason, because there are some people out there that, as I was mentioning before to Rudy Sarzo, our illustrious guest of the
Correct.
night,
Yep.
there
Awesome
are
guy.
some people that literally deserve to get teed off on, and we do it with great pride and alacrity.
Yeah, and if you have anything to refute about it, you can always call in, you son of a bitch, and we'll go ahead and we'll tell you exactly what is truly on our mind. 213-973-2977. If you guys know what we're talking about, feel free to chime in. If you think we're being total dicks, well, guess what? You can go ahead and call us up, and we'll address that too.
Right.
All right.
In the meantime, and it can be a random rant as well, because I can't even remember who the hell we were going to tee off with.
Michael Deladonna, we just had we had some problems here with
That's a personal beef. I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay,
one.
then never mind. That's sorry about that, Mikey D. You're probably listening to this too, but she almost went into the crime sack.
Right, exactly. You almost fell into it, but because actually I have nothing against Michael Deladonna personally, I would just say I'm going to do this one instead. And this is a breakdown, people, because right off the bat we've got a
Who's on the list? Who's this guy?
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
We hate this frickin' band, you son of a bitches.
Technical difficulties once again.
No, that's still juvenile.
No, what it is last week we had a somewhat of a hang-up on our show. Let's say
a hang-up, you say?
It was a hang-up. Yeah. If you were tuning in, you may have noticed the complete shit show that took place as a result of poor planning and some other failings that have yet to be explained. But
we don't
really
there was
care
also
to-
blessings in disguise that actually came out of
we
that.
took away some interesting opportunities from the situation, but what I wanted to get back to was the fact that being that I am the creator and executive producer of Gorilla Cookie Radio Show, I found that after this entire thing took place, there was a level of responsibility on my part that I felt I had to take. Because
Wait, are we blasting you right now?
No, it's
No?
not.
Okay.
This is not about me. In fact, this is actually a position of the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show as a whole. And being that you stand behind me, I expect you to, support me in this. But what it was really, we had a number of failings, and whether or not any of you out there were aware of it or not, we were put in a position where that our special guest at the time, Anderson, who obviously came down here all the way from Washington. These guys were very humble, probably thought that they had just walked into a den of snakes, you know what I mean? Because we made a number of promises to a number of people, we said some things, we did some things, and about 50% of that actually came off in the end. And maybe less even, considering some of the people that were involved who their motivations may or may not have been malicious, but
there were a bunch of mitigating factors that actually caused
There were.
that caused some of the activity to unfold.
Right.
And this right here is production, guys. Listen, first of all, number one, production. If you're in entertainment and you don't know about technical glitches, well, then go after yourself and you have nothing to say. And if you do know about it, then guess what? There you go. And it's not about how you mess up, but how you recover and how you go about, making things right the very next time. If you're unforgiving a-hole, well, guess what? Then too bad. Life goes on. And if this is the way you live your life, well, essentially, you're going to have a hard time there, buddy boy.
I didn't know that I was doing the lead up and you were doing the crap
Oh,
sack
sorry,
this
man.
time.
Sorry.
No,
That's
exactly.
right.
And that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Is whether or not, because Tool, he is my main guy. He lines everything up for me, and I have very little oversight in that respect. But at the end of the day, I couldn't help but feel like I had to stick my neck out and say, hey, listen, ultimately I'm responsible for what's taking place on this show. I'm going to take the hit, and I'm happy to do so. If it's my reputation that has to suffer as a result, then screw it. So, in my own mind, I prepared an apology, so to speak. And it was actually Tool who stood behind me and said, after I said, hey, listen, I think an official apology is necessary. I slagged off a lot of people last week that I felt were involved in the ultimate failing that took place. And whether it matters or not at this point is irrelevant. The point is that here on the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show, I completely take a different stance on the accountability role. Maybe within ourselves, I will hold people accountable. But as for all of you out there, I don't really give a shit what you think. If you don't like what we're doing out here and you can't give us a little leeway when things go bad,
then we're gonna go ahead and put you under the microscope and
Exactly.
closely examine you.
Come back and tell me something that I haven't heard already. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm not in the position to apologize to anybody. I've got a whole ton of things that are going on behind the scenes that we like to fill you in on, and
we own up when we make our mistakes. We're big boys,
exactly. We take accountability for the thing. We take the responsibility for the things that come off and don't come off. We basically deliver the message. We're the message bearers.
Right.
That certain people want to get involved with us. We want to work together. They act cool and this and that. And you never know. You never understand people's full motivations. You don't know whether or not they're smiling in your face and trying to stick a knife in your back. But to those people, I say, up yours. You have no integrity, and I wouldn't want to work with you anyways.
Right.
And to those who actually had no necessary foul play in mind, you are forgiven anyways. It doesn't matter. We move on. We've already got stuff going on that
You'll know who your friends are when the shit goes down, won't you?
You will be drooling by the time it's all said and done.
And for
We've
what you
way
got,
more people
and
that are interested.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And for what you got, you are a big fool. You are a big fool. And it all comes around. There's a saying out there: is be careful who you step on the way up, because chances are you're going to meet them on the way down.
Right. And that being said, the powers that be, people who are manipulating and abusing their power, also being people that may or may not be well on their way out, as we step up into the new age, into this realm of internet radio and beyond that Excite Radio and now Excite Studios are pursuing. You know what? I feel bad for you, because obviously, if you feel like you got to step on people where we would just as soon, increase your popularity, increase your
we don't need that. You listen, we did just fine. We've been doing just fine on our own. We
exactly. And
we work together with a lot of people. We work together with a lot of people. And let me tell you, that's where you blew it. That's where you ultimately blew it. And by the way, if you ever try to call, on that personal line, well, you're going to be in for a really rude awakening when that number doesn't go through. When you thought that you were an admin, well, guess what? You're not. And in fact, we were there to support you all the way down the line. You just don't turn your back on friends, especially someone that is, a good old boy.
True.
It's a spit in the handshake, and it does come down to that. We value our friends. We keep our friends very close.
And from the beginning, that's what we did. When we came in here originally, from the very beginning, it was a very, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing. We never asked anything of anybody, and they never asked anything of us. And that's the way it
you want to
should
match
be,
wits? Well, guess what? You want to match gas? Guess what? We could definitely match wits. We could definitely match gas. And, listen, we don't want to be name droppers. You'll just see. You'll just see exactly what we're talking about. And, buddy boy, it doesn't matter what you do. I think you spread yourself too thin, you burn a bridge that you probably shouldn't have.
True that. In the meanwhile, we wanted to give a little... I don't know who that is. Who is that? Yeah, what we want to do real quick...
Oh, Eagle Sigs. EagleSigs.com.
Hold on. I'm going to finish up with this one. We want to let everybody know that maybe on some level we may have even spread ourselves a little bit too thin going a little over our own limits and really trying to push the edge, and that's what we do. That's fine. I mean, everybody's got to fail, everybody's got to fall down. We stood right back up, man. We're right back, and I'll tell you where we're coming from.
Yeah.
This is the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show as it has ever been from the beginning. My credo, my stamp on this product that I have developed, and with Tool along with me the entire way. I mean, this guy was so humble in the beginning, so humble. Like, oh, hey, it's your show. I'm just gonna come along. And I said, no, man, it's us. This is me and you going for it, dude. We're gonna show them, and we did. I think we already have, and we
Our
have
resume speaks for itself.
We have yet to even break the ice of what
You haven't
what we're
seen
capable
nothing
of.
yet. In fact, we've got one hell of a season
That's
remaining. This next season is going to be blowing your freaking mind.
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
going to bring things to you that you could only ever expect
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
biggest names in media outlet.
And not just in our show, but every single one of the shows that we actually have on Excite Radio. And right now we've got 13 running with more on the way. We just recently included the Barbershop. We've got the Playboy Playmate show coming up here pretty soon.
Right.
We've got different derivatives of hip hop. We've got hot chicks galore. We've got some of the biggest
Yeah, we
names
can
in
get our own
sports.
hot chicks, by the way.
We've got Steve Johnson with his racing segment coming up here soon.
Oh, love Steve Johnson.
A good friend of ours. Listen,
NHRA this weekend, man.
NHRA, that's going to be February 6th, and I believe that's going to be down there in Pomona again.
We got a couple things that we have to do before we get out of here. We
Yeah.
got 10 more minutes. So
Eagle
I'm gonna
Cigs.
break
We got
it
to
off
do
real
Eagle
quick.
Cigs really quick.
Right off the bat, yeah, Eco Cigs. We're all trying to get a little healthier these days. Stop dragging on that nasty ass cigarette of yours. You're polluting the environment. You are offending everybody in the room.
Do you realize that people look at you and they go, "Wow, you're a disgusting
Tool can
animal.
blow
You're a
a
filthy,
cloud
gross
of smoke
animal
in my
pig."
face. He could blow a cloud of smoke in my face, and I'm like, oh, what is
Right.
that? Graham crackers?
Yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
smells like amazing.
Let me give you a prime example too. I take the Amtrak down. I probably shouldn't even have promoted that, but I take the train down to down to Fullerton every so often to go see a lot of good friends of mine. And guess what? I actually use Ego Cigs. I actually use the Ego Twist. And they've got an assortment of probably some of the yummiest dead-on flavors you've ever had in your life. In fact, right now, believe it or not, I'm
sound really
smoking
gay, but they're amazing.
I'm smoking a freaking churro. I'm vaping a churro.
Dude, let me hit that.
Yeah, hit it. And let me tell you, it is absolutely fantastic. And guess what? When you go ahead and you inhale, you get the nicotine that you need without all the tar and all the other garbage inside your body. It actually takes all the crap. It expels it all from your body, much like a vaporizer would do, because that's exactly what it is. The only thing is that the people around you aren't smelling the stench of a cigarette. Now they're smelling yummy flavors, and you're getting these people hungry. And I can't begin to tell you how many conversations that I've gotten into about Ego Cigs and how many people have actually signed up. Do yourself a favor. Don't be the jackass that everyone looks at now and goes, oh, he's smoking an analog over there off to the side like a douche.
Yep.
No, Ego Cigs. You
Don't
can
they call
smoke it
those-
on the train.
They call them buttheads, actually. I guess that is
Buttheads.
the word
How
branded
appropriate.
for people who are actually still smoking analog cigarettes.
Yeah.
The real deal is really over. So
EgoCigs.com. Check it out.
Yeah, check that out. Okay, now in the meantime, I'm following up on this little tirade that I was taking down the Gorilla Cookie path. We are getting back to what is real in Gorilla Cookie Land. That being,
this place is getting active, man. Can you hear it?
Right. Tattoo culture, music, and the Valley. I mean, that's where we're from, and that's what we're about. We are going to get much more local. We are going to get much more involved in local bands, big and small. I mean, you name it, we're going to be working with them. And surprisingly enough, I'm friends with most of these people. It just so happens that I got a radio show, and now I've got a platform to promote their music. But that's what we're getting back to. We're going old school, and we're going to develop a local base. And all you guys out there that are hearing this, near and far, man, I mean, across the world, wherever you are, you're going to be hearing what's coming out of Los Angeles because, it ain't Seattle anymore. And, wherever else the music scene is coming from, I'm going to make it come from here. This is where we're coming from. So that being said, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. And he is, he contacted me earlier. He's got a very special program going on. Basically what it is his band is called what are they called anyways? Oh yeah, the Vandabells. I'm sorry. It was a hard, is it the Vandals? No, it's the Vandabells. And Kitch.
Kitch, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, Kitch. They are trying to produce. They're trying to put out their album, and they're a couple. They're about $1.5 grand away from being able to release their own album. So Kitch came to me and he said, "Look, man, and he's got this great Australian accent. Some of his band members are actually in Australia, so he's been co-producing this album for the last 2 years with his band members in Australia, either over the internet and actually making visits. They come here.
You know what's funny is that nowadays you can do that. There's no problem with you doing that.
They're about $1,500 away from making all their dreams come true and releasing this album. The site that you want to go to is vandabells.com. That's VANDABELLES.com. And I'm assuming that if you go to the vandabells.com, you can listen to some of their music. I was supposed to have one of his songs up here, and I wasn't able to get it on the system. In the meantime,
we'll feature here next show.
We couldn't actually have a call in so he could deliver his message by himself because it's all coming to me real quick here.
And time is actually slipping away.
Time is slipping away. We got about 5 more minutes to go, and I just wanted to give a little shout out to Kitch from the Vandabells, and if you wanted to support their band and support their record release, you can go to thevandabells.com, not the Vandabells.
Spell it out for them too. How do you...
Vandabells, yeah, vandabells.com, VANDABELLES.com.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put that E at the end. So VANDABELLES.
Yeah, Vanda, VANDA, Bells, BELLES.com.
Good. Right.
And basically all it's about is releasing their album, man. It's basically a fundraiser for
now.
Local
Let me
talent.
ask you, Silverback, what kind of music do they play?
Well, it's I'll tell you what. I was talking to Kitch about that, and he was like, "Well, you could probably describe it as a bit of a folky, sort of poppy, sort of this, sort of that." And you know what? We play a lot of heavy metal on this show, and that's what I'm about. But I'm also into punk music. I'm into dance music. I'm into rap. I'm into all sorts of things. I can play it all. I can listen to it all. In fact, I do listen to it all. And I think that gives me a well-rounded...
You're pretty well-rounded eclecticism.
Yeah, eclecticism. That's an interesting word. No, I am pretty well-rounded in terms of my musical taste, but, I do have my preferences, I'll admit. But I'm not trying to say that that's all I'm about, because obviously... Flat on Flannel, we plugged the crap out of that dude, and he's his music is relatively tame, in every sense of the word. It's just, relaxing, sort of like, bop your head and tap your feet kind of stuff. But the Vandabells, it's a poppy, folky kind of sound, and I'm sure you guys can relate to that. There's lots of bands out there that are like that are, well in the mainstream. This guy just needs a little help, man. He wants to get his album out. So if you can contribute anything towards that goal, they're at about $8,800, and they need about 10 grand to do it. So if you can go on vandabells.com and give them anything you got, man, $5, $10, whatever it is, I'll go on there tonight. I'll
just give them the $1,200. Don't be a dick about it, man.
Yeah, you got $1,200, man.
Give them $1,200.
What's up?
Jeez.
So again, to Kitch, man, this is the best I could do for you, brother, because we could not get him.
Listen, I'm sure if they go to that site,
they get Rudy Sarzo tonight. I gotta tell you that.
Let me tell you, if you guys, want to go to the site, you'll be able to hear the music there. I'm certain. But otherwise, we're gonna feature the music here come next week. We'll slip it in there when we got Metalocalypse coming on.
Holy
crap!
crap.
Freaks.
Hey,
that's
check it
right.
out. Dude, I am a huge Metalocalypse fan. If you guys don't know what it is an Adult Swim cartoon. Now, I know what you're saying. I'm an adult. I don't watch cartoons. These are cartoons for adults. And if you're into heavy metal music, you're probably already well aware.
You like heavy metal cartoons. Don't screw with us, man. You know what? When you're up late, you're hungover, whatever the case is.
No, you're getting
you can't
drunk.
sleep.
You do the hungover thing. Yeah, you're up late and you're hungover.
Right.
Damn, you're in trouble.
Well, guess what? You wake up and you turn on Adult Swim.
Right.
And guess what? You get into it because it's actually pretty damn entertaining. And we are extremely excited to be working with you, Ben. All you guys over there, Brandon, Crispy. We are truly jazzed to have you on board with the Gorilla Cookie Radio Show. We're meddled. We're meddled excited.
30 seconds to go, man. We're going to wrap this sucker up. Looking forward to seeing Metalocalypse in studio and Adult Swim. We are going to be passing on all those contacts to some of our shows that are also involved in the Excite Radio
Boy, this production crew just moves right in, don't they?
Exactly.
They really put the pressure on.
Man, they're kicking us out, so here we are.